Dear friends, see last time we studied about relation between electric potential and electric field. Also, we derived the equation of potential energy of a charges when external field was not present or in absence of electric field. Now next we have to see the potential energy of a system of 2-point charges when external field is present. So we can write like this. So this can be asked in a 2-mark question. Potential energy of system of 2-point charge in presence of okay. Now let us say this is our some reference point and we know the electric field is present. Now let us say the Q1 charge is brought from infinite to a point, let us say A, which has the position vector of R1. Now see the potential work done during this will be W1 will be Q1 into V. Here at a point P, the point A, the potential is R1. Now similarly, see the Q2 charge is brought from infinite to point B, which has a position vector of R. So in that case, W2 is Q into V into R. Okay. Now see what we have done. We have assembled a system of point charges. Now let us say the distance between charge Q1 and Q2 is R12. Okay, now there is no need of this. This was just for our understanding. So in that case, see the potential energy of system of charges, we can write U12 is Q1 Q2 upon. Now see total work done or the total energy of system of 2 charge. Now this you can call as W3 also. Okay, see work done is W1 is work done in bringing a Q1 charge from infinite to a given point. That will be Q1 into VR1. Similarly for Q2 charge it will be Q2 into VR2 and KQ1 Q2 upon R1. Now see this is a total energy or the potential energy of system of 2-point charges in presence of external electric field. Initially when last time we saw, see the field was not present. In that case our total energy of the 2-point charges was only given by KQ1 Q2 upon R12. Okay. Now see next we have to see potential energy of electric dipole in uniform external electric field. Now that will be our new question. See this can be asked in a 2-mark question. Derive equation of potential energy of electric field, electric dipole in now we have seen that see the uniform electric field we can represent by parallel and equidistant line. Now let us say, see this is our dipole. Okay. Now see in the first lesson, see we derived the equation of a torque acting on a dipole in a external field. So that torque was P cross. Okay. Now we also saw that the work done in rotating a dipole is stored in the form of potential energy of the dipole. Now we can write like this. See, the torque acting on dipole placed in external field uniform now this torque is the historic torque that we know. Okay, now let us say, see, a dipole is rotated. Okay, now there is a dipole charge on the dipole, we can write is a plus q and minus q. Now let dipole rotated in electric field from theta is equal to 0, theta 0 to theta 1. Okay, now theta 0 is any arbitrary position. Now we know the work done is torque into d theta. Now let us say dw is the work done to rotate the dipole by angle d theta. Now minus pe sin theta. Now the total work done to rotate dipole from theta 0 to theta 1 can be obtained by integration. Total work done to rotate dipole can be obtained by integration. Okay, now see, our theta 0 is the initial position and theta 1 is the final position. Now that can be written as minus pe sin theta, theta 0 to theta 1 theta. That is minus pe integration. Okay, now we know the integration minus pe minus cos theta. Sin theta integration is minus theta. Now see, we can substitute the values. Now we know theta 0 is an arbitrary position. Let us say, let initially, see, this will be taken at our convenience. Right now we take theta 0 is pi by 2. Now we know cos theta 0 is cos pi by 2 is 0. So work done is pe cos theta 1. Okay, so this is how we can calculate the work done to rotate the dipole in a uniform electric field. As I told earlier, this work is stored in form of potential energy of dipole. So dipole potential energy is Pe cos theta. Okay. Now this is how we can calculate the work done to rotate the dipole in a uniform electric field. See, now next we take example 2.5. Okay, now Q1 is given. Here is the system of 2 point charges. Q1 is 7 microcoulomb, R1 is given, Q2 is minus 2 microcoulomb. Okay, now see, first you have to find out potential energy of system of 2 point charges. Now secondly, we have to find out the work done to separate the charges to infinite from a given condition. Now let us say, see, the external field is present, given by E is equal to A upon R square. Okay, then we have to find out electrostatic energy of the configuration. Now just now we have discussed the energy of the potential energy of dipole or a potential energy of 2 point charges in external electric field. See, that we are going to use here. Now first we have to find out the potential energy of system of 2 point charges. Now see, the first part, potential energy we know is Q1 upon R12. Now this R12 we can find out like this, R1 minus R2. Okay. So this we can write as 900 minus 1800. Okay. So now this is in centimeter, so we can convert in. See, if I write the magnitude, that is by the distance formula, 18 centimeter or 18 into 10 to minus 2 meter. Okay. Now we can substitute the value. U is equal to K Q1 Q2 R1 9 into 10 to 9. Okay, so we will get this as a minus 0.7. Now secondly, work done to separate the charges to infinite. Now when they are taken to infinite, see the potential energy will be, final potential energy of the system will be 0. So in that case, work done will be U1 minus U2 or U2 minus U1. So we can write U2 minus U1. Now if they are taken to infinite, the final energy will be 0. U1 we have calculated. Okay. Now that is the work done to separate the charges to infinite will be this. That is nothing in the potential energy of the dipole. Now secondly, see the third part, see the electrostatic energy of the configuration. Now see, we have established the relation. See, E is V by D, D is E into D. Okay. Now here E is given as A upon R square. Now D is in the form of distance, that is R. So V is equal to A upon R. Okay, that we have to use here. Now, so in that case, the total energy or electrostatic energy of the configuration, that will be our part C, will be W1 plus W2 plus W3. That will be Q1 VR1 VR2 plus AQ1 Q2. Okay. Now, see in that sense, see it will be Q1 VR1 be A upon R1 plus Q2 A upon R2 plus K Q1 Q2 upon R1. Okay. Now Q1 is our 7 microcoulomb. A is 9 into 10 to 5. See the distance R1 is 9 centimeter. That we convert in meter, plus minus 2 microcoulomb, 9 into 10 to 5. Then this value we have derived is minus 0.7. Now if we solve this, this will be 70, this will be minus 20 and minus 0.7. So the total energy of the configuration, okay, we know the unit of energy is Joule. So this is how we can calculate the electrostatic potential energy of the configuration of charges. Now see our next is example 2.6. Now see the dipole moment of one molecule is given as 10 to the power minus 29 coulomb per meter. See in 1 mole there are 6 into 10 to 23 molecule. See we have to, it is placed in a electric field of 10 to 6 volt per meter. Now see we have to calculate the work done by rotating the dipole from theta 1 is equal to 0 to theta 2 is. Now we know whenever the work is done, that work done will be in the form of heat energy release. So we have to calculate this. Now see this is a dipole moment of one molecule. So we can write total dipole moment is equal to dipole moment of one molecule. In one mole we are knowing n number of molecules. So total dipole moment we can write P only, that is 10 to the power minus 29 1 mole we have got. Okay. Now see the potential energy P into V calculate. We can write. Okay. Or see the potential energy of the dipole we know U is equal to minus P E cos theta. Now when theta is equal to 0, that is a given condition here. It will be minus P E cos 0. Minus P, and we know cos 0 is 1. So that will be minus 6. Now when it is rotated by angle, theta 2 is 60. Theta 1 is 0, theta 2 is 60. U2 will be, okay, minus PE cos 60. Okay, now this is a final energy. Now delta U we have to calculate, that is U2 minus V1 minus 3. Okay, U1 is minus 6. Okay, now see when we rotate the dipole in a field, work is to be done. See that work is equal to the energy released. So we can write energy released or the heat energy that will be in the form of joule. So this is how we can calculate the heat release when a dipole is rotated in a dipole. Now see, just now we have seen the energy of a dipole in a presence of external electric field. Okay, now see next we take a new topic, that is a capacitor, and the physical quantity we are obtaining is a capacitance. Okay, now a capacitor is a system of two conductor of arbitrary shape and volume kept close to okay. Now see the capacitor is a device and capacitance is a physical quantity. Okay, now we see the basic principle behind the principle of capacitance. Now let us say that is a sphere is there. Initially it has no charge. Okay, initially it has no charge. Now see the potential of the sphere is given as. Now see a capacitor is a system of two conductor of arbitrary shape and volume kept close to each other. Now let us say, see earlier we have seen the is a sphere, isolated sphere. We know initially there is no charge. Now we know the potential of a sphere is V is kq by r. Initially q is 0, so V will be 0. Now let us say some charge is placed on this. Let us say dq charge is placed. Okay, then some potential will be obtained by V is equal to K into dq by r. Okay, now we will have a non-zero value now. So by putting some dq charge on this, finally we get charge q on this. In that case we say V is equal to kq by r. But every time the ratio of charge to potential, okay, charge to potential ratio is constant. Now this ratio is called the capacitance. Okay, the ratio of charge to potential on the sphere is constant. So we define a quantity q upon V is C. Okay, now this is nothing but capacitance. Now see, by using this we can obtain the unit and the dimension. C is q upon V, that is coulomb per volt. Okay, now dimensional formula q is, we can write as q1 Now volt, we can write W is equal to VQ. Q is W upon V is W upon Q. So that we can write as. Okay. Now M1 L2 T minus 2. That we can write as M minus 1. Now we know Q is equal to IT. Q square will be A to T. This will be M minus 1, L minus 2, T2, A2 into T. Okay? So we can write M minus 1. Okay? Now, this is the unit and the dimension. See, remember well, capacitor is a charge storing device. Now it stores energy in the form of electric field. Now commercially there are different type of capacitors are available. Okay. Now, but here we have to study the basic principle, okay, of the capacitor, and in our syllabus only we have to study is a parallel plate capacitor that we have to see now. Now, just now we talked of the sphere. Now see how do we get capacitance of a sphere. Now see the sphere radius is R. Let us say Q charge is established on it. Okay. Now V is equal to KQ by R. Now we saw that ratio of Q upon V, okay, is constant. So Q upon V is R upon K, that is C. Q upon V is known to us C. So and K value is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. See that we can substitute here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. See, for a sphere, capacitance will be 4 pi epsilon 0. Okay. Now we can have a simple example based on this. Suppose we consider Earth as spherical capacitor, and we have to calculate the capacitance of such capacitor. Then we know radius of the Earth is 6400 kilometers that we have seen earlier. Now K is 9 into 10 to 9. Now we can use both where C is R upon K. R is 6.4. Okay, or we can calculate C is equal to 4 pi epsilon 0 8 pi into minus 12. Now see the R is the radius of the sphere, 6.4 into 10 to 6. Okay, now see the unit of capacitance, it is done in terms of Faraday. Okay, that is symbol is F. So this is how we can know the basics of a capacitor. Now next we have to see about a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, now in our syllabus mostly on this part only, then cylindrical capacitor in a syllabus. Now we start with a simple one. Now to derive equation of capacitance of okay. Now see in the first lesson we studied about the electric field of a uniformly charged infinite plate surface. Now see in a parallel plate capacitor there are two plates, one with a positive charge and second with a negative charge. Now let us say the plate area is D, plate area is A, that plate is A. See the separation between okay. Now to maintain uniform electric field between the plates, see the distance is generally very less, generally of the order of the micro millimeter size or micrometer size. Okay, now we have to derive the electric field of a parallel plate capacitance. Now let us say surface charge density. Sigma is charge upon area Q by A. Now see the potential of first plate, we take arbitrary as 0 and the potential on plate 2 is P. So we can write like this. Let potential and potential okay. So what we can say, the potential difference between two plates will be V minus A by V. Now see the electric field between the plates. Okay. Now let us say the electric field due to first plate. Let us say you place a test charge here. Now see what is the electric field in this direction. Okay. There will be repulsive force E1. Okay. In the rightward direction. Now this will be E1. Now electric field due to second plate, see there will be attractive force E2. Now what we see, both electric field are in the same direction. So the resultant electric field E is equal to, now both vector in the same direction, we can treat as a scalar. So that will be sigma upon 2 epsilon 0. Now, see the potential difference between two plates, V is equal to E into D, that we have seen earlier. Now, E is sigma upon epsilon 0. Okay. Now, sigma is surface charge density, that is Q upon A. So, we can write V is equal to Q upon A into now see our Q upon V will become like this, and Q upon V is C, that is E0 A upon V. So this is how we can obtain the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Now see what we can see from this, that this is directly proportional to area of the plate. Also it is inversely proportional to separation between the plates. So this is how we can derive the formula of a parallel plate capacitor. Now, just now we have obtained the formula of parallel plate capacitance. Now generally the capacitance value of a capacitor is very small value. Now it is in terms of generally microfarad or picofarad. Okay. Now by using the formula which we have derived, we can say 1 Faraday is a very large value. Okay, 1 Faraday capacitance is a very large value, that we can understand by using this formula. Let us say we have to form a capacitance of 1 Faraday value. As I told, see the separation between the plates is very less, generally of the millimeter size. Okay. Let us say with simplicity 1 mm. We have to calculate the plate area, that is A. So how we can calculate that we have to see now. Now we consider it a square plate. That will be easy for calculation. So by this upon epsilon 0. Okay. Now C we have taken as 1 Faraday. Okay. Now see if I go by this, Okay. Now see this area turns out to be 1.1 into 10 to. See this we are saying for the rough calculation. Now it is a square plate. Let us say length is L. L square will be 1.1. Now we know 10 to 4 meter will be very large value. That will be 10 kilometer. That is generally not possible. So that is how, see, in our practical uses, whenever we come across value of the capacitance, say it is of the order of -6 farad, that is microfarad, or we can say -12 farad. Now it is the same calculation. If we proceed here for a capacitance of 1 microfarad or 1 picofarad, okay, let us say, then let us see how the calculation turns out to be. So this will be 8.85. Area will be again CD upon epsilon 0. Now we calculate for 1 picofarad, that is -12. Okay, now this will turn out to be area generally in meter square. Now again we take a square plate. L square is 1.1. Now we see that the 1 centimeter now practically possible. So that's why we have to see that whenever we come across the practical value of the capacitance, it is of the order of microfarad, -6 farad, or picofarad, -12. Okay, so this is about the value of the parallel plate capacitor.